Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about the Baroque and Romantic period.
Hi, I'm Nabila Samara, and I'm going to talk about the definition of Baroque period.
I'm Katherine, and I'm explaining about a Baroque piece.
I'm Alvis, and I will be speaking on Romantic period's definition.
And I'm Anneliese. I'm going to guide you through a romantic piece.
Then we're going to compare the two and give our final reflection. Let's get into it!
The Baroque music period!
1600 to 1750. The Baroque period was marked by its dramatic, expressive, and ornate characteristics. It was all about creating an emotional and powerful experience. The music often featured intricate counterpoint and basso continuo, an improvised bass line that became a staple of Baroque composition. While Renaissance focused on balance and beauty, Baroque composers changed that by expressing human emotions through sound, like joy, sorrow, anger, love. There was a strong focus on contrast, whether it was loud versus soft, or solo versus group performances. The melodies were long, emotional, and complex. The focus was on the development of the tonality, with both major and minor scales taking the center stage. The rise of the Baroque court. The Baroque era was defined by royal patronage, with music being supported by royal courts. This led to the development of opera and instrumental music, and cities like Venice and Paris saw the rise of public concerts and opera houses, making music more accessible to the public. When we think of Baroque composers, two names stand out: Johann Sebastian Bach and George Frederick Handel. Bach is renowned for his complex fugues, expressive cantatas, and the masterful Brandenburg concertos, all showcasing his emotional depth and exceptional command of counterpoint. Handel, on the other hand, is celebrated for his grand oratorios, especially the Messiah, and his operas like Julius Caesar, which embody the drama and emotional intensity that define the Baroque style.
The piece is called Handel Julius Caesar in Egitto HWV 17, an example of opera seria which contain key characteristics of music in the Baroque period. It is a dramatified story following Caesar, Cleopatra, and her brother Ptolemy. Just like most pieces in this era, Julius Caesar had a complex texture, containing plenty of ornaments like trills and runs, as shown in Vardaro Pupili. The entire piece also switches styles from A major to F minor, homophonic to polyphonic, and varied tempos from fast to slow to portray emotions and a lively story. It mostly contained a basso continuo played by the harpsichord, cello, and the viola da gamba. The solo instruments also changes during valtacito, and the horn is used. However, soprano instruments like the oboe, violin, flute, and piano is used during Vardaro Pupile. As it aims to be dramatic, it sets the mood by adding contrasting dynamics, having moments that accelerates or turn loud and soft suddenly.
Romantic period.
The Romantic period was a time when music became more than notes. It started to become emotion, imagination, and storytelling. In that period, composers no longer wrote just to please the audience or follow strict forms. They wrote to express their deepest feelings and share their personal stories through music. This Romantic period lasted from around 1820 to 1900, following the Classical era. While classical music focused on balance, order, and structure, Romantic music broke free from these limits. It was about freedom, passion, and individuality, an era of where the heart led first and the rules followed later. In this period, the orchestra became larger, with new instruments like harp, tuba, piccolo, and English horn. Composers used wise contrasts from the softest whispers to the loudest explosion of sound to add more colors in showing emotion and drama. In the Romantic era, composers used programmatic composition to tell stories through music. For example, famous works from this era are as Berlioz's Symphony Fantastique and Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet, use orchestral color and expressive dynamic to show emotion and scenes without words. Ballet Symphony Fantastic is a program music work that tells a story through instruments instead of words. The story is about an artist who falls in love, dreams of killing his beloved, and imagines his own execution and a rich Sabbath. This is also the age of virtuoso performers like Franz Liszt and Niccolo Paganini, who amaze audiences with their energetic and emotional performances, showing how music had become personal and dramatic. Other famous composers of this dramatic period include Ludwig van Beethoven, Franz Schubert, Frederick Chopin, Johannes Brahms, Tchaikovsky, and Richard Wagner.
During the Romantic era, the texture of music is homophony as there are more harmonies supporting the main lines. With composers' individuality, their works are quite unique, with the inclusion of tuba and piccolo provides more range as tuba expands the bass line and piccolo expands the high register. As Romantic era has more expression of individuality of composers, we can see the rhythms are more of running notes than trills as seen here. This is Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. He is well known for composing much pieces that are quite famous, such as Romeo and Juliet love theme, which tells a story about a play by William Shakespeare about two star-crossed lovers from rival families, the Montagues and Capulets. The play ends tragically when a plan to reunite them goes awry. Romeo believes Juliet is dead, commits suicide, and Juliet awakens to find him dead and kills herself, which finally leads their families to reconcile. The piece pictures how tragic their love is.
The Baroque piece tells a story through dialogue,
While the Romantic piece evokes emotion like romance and heartbreak through music pitch.
Baroque period musicians were still being commissioned to play, so pieces were created to suit the audience's taste.
While during the Romantic period, musicians began earning stable income, so they created emotional pieces that they enjoyed. Romantic period is more of homophony in their pieces.
Baroque changes from homophonic to polyphonic.
To create ornaments, Romantic period repertoire has more running notes from woodwinds or string instruments.
Julius Caesare contained lots of ornaments like trills for both instrument and singer.
Romantic period's form is waltz as there was a lot of balls held at the time.
The Baroque piece was an opera seria, created because people were bored of complex plays.
The Romantic piece gradually changes its dynamic,
In contrast to Baroque, which changes its volume acceleratedly.
The rhythm of Romantic are more of short and fast 16 notes, and it creates the effect of background particles.
The rhythm switches throughout the piece, from free and almost spoken-like rhythm to static and structured one.
So which period did you connect to, Samara?
I'm drawn to the discipline of the Baroque period. Every note has purpose, every ornamentation has structure. Yet, within those structures, there's freedom. A world that often feels very rushed and oversimplified, Baroque invites me to slow down and feel deeply, to appreciate how complexity and emotion and faith can coexist. That's why I connect to the Baroque period. It mirrors who I am, someone who feels deeply, seeks balance, and finds beauty in both chaos and control. Thank you.
So what did you learn while researching on this?
I learned about the story of the mountain-faced Cleopatra and how she snuck into Caesar's room and what follows. The play was even more entertaining as the music added drama and intensity, making it feel suspenseful or sorrowful when needed to.
Thank you. What did you appreciate about this project, Alvis?
I'm amazed by the people's creativity through their expression of love, sorrow, and every emotion. Composers wrote from the heart, not just by rules, showing their feelings through sound. These composers were not afraid to break traditions and create something new and personal. It reminds me that creativity grows when we dare to be ourselves and let our emotions flow in life.
I like the piece from the Romantic period, Romeo and Juliet love theme. I really like the melody, it sounds very heavenly and beautiful. The high notes really gives it a light feeling that I enjoy. It resonates with me a lot and moves me.